Yeah, we're going to do English teacher reacts. Yeah, okay. Well, everybody, I hope you brought your books and pencils because there's going to be some homework after this. Welcome back, everybody. I'm excited to do some more Taylor Ryan. We are well on our way through this album. I've really enjoyed this second half of the album far more than the first half. It's more poetic. It's got better sound. It's just musically, it just seems strange that this wasn't the first part of this release. But obviously, she's Taylor. She can do whatever she wants. It's kind of cool that she did that in a way, rather than trying like, let's get the money. You know, it's more like, hey, you like the first part? Come and see what I got after that. So, yeah.
It's an amazing accomplishment with this album in general. The amount of songs she put on this thing, and there really isn't any stinkers by any stretch of the imagination. They're all very well done, produced songs, compositions, lyrics. Some songs are stronger than others, but it is really quite an epic production. It makes you want to, between like Folklore, Evermore, and then this album. Those last three albums have so many songs. What's the song count on that? Like 60 to 70 songs.
Yeah, easy.
It's insane. Yeah. It's insane. She's only 35 or whatever, and then in that area, and then she's got another 20, 30, 40 years of doing it. Like, this is insane.
She's got hundreds of songs already. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. All right. Okay, so this one is called, well, there you go. This is actually a very interesting question. How did it end? How did it end? I'm just kind of curious what it would be referring to. That's an interesting title because it's already happened, but she doesn't know how it ended. So how did it end? Okay. Oh, maybe she's saying, how did it end?
She plays with words a lot. So
yeah. So she could ask, how did it end? So she could be asking you, Nathan, how did it end? Because you know. Or she's asking herself, how did it end? How did this end? I had this thing. Now it's over. How did it end?
Oh, it's a question. There's a question mark right there.
Hereby conduct this post-mortem. He was a hothouse flower to my outdoorsman. Our maladies were such we could not cure them, and so a touch that was my birthright became foreign. Come one, come all, it's happening again. The tell no one except all of our friends. We must know. How did it end? We were blind to unforeseen circumstances. We learned the right steps to different dances and fell victim to interlopers' glances. Lost the game of chance, what are the chances? Soon they'll go home to their husbands, smug cause they know they can trust him, then feverishly calling their cousins. Guess who at the shops, walking in circles like she was lost? Didn't you hear? They called it all off. One gasp and then how did it end? Silenced as the soul was leaving, the deflation of our dreaming, leaving me bereft and reeling, my beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree, deep energy. It's happening again. How did it end? I can't pretend like I understand. How did it end? Come one, come all. It's happening again. The empathetic hunger descends. Will tell no one except all of our friends, but I still don't know. How did it end?
Another great song, boy. You are the English teacher reacts, so you're what everyone
Yeah.
waits for. I'm just I like the music. But I like the music on this one. I think this
Go
is
ahead there.
I think the music on this is actually very important because we have a very strong piano playing of repeating nature, and I think there's some repeating motifs throughout the song of Taylor kind of she's asking the question over and over again, how did it end? How did it end? And yes, so she is asking herself, how did this end? How did I get here? I think that repeating piano motif throughout the song is just the idea of this circular question and answer that we do sometimes at the end of a relationship. You know, we've all been there. We've all been at the end of a relationship where it's over and you're like, how did we get here? How is it that we were at the beginning of something? We were in love and we're happy and we're dating. It's the honeymoon phase. And now how did we get here? So there's a lot of introspection. I think the singing too here it almost sounded like she's close. I would say close to crying, but you can hear the emotion in her voice that she's about to break. There's a couple of parts where you can almost hear the quivering in her voice. I think she's feeling very emotional when she's singing the song. I think she was definitely feeling the song when she's recording this.
I can see you're having an emotional reaction to it. Did you get a little bit emotional listening to this song?
Oh yeah, this is a very makes you think about your own relationships and past relationships. Yeah, absolutely. This is a very deep song. I was also thinking that some people might not like this album. I think we've already mentioned this before because it's not, Shake It Off, that kind of song. These are very
right.
This is the Taylor I like the most. Evermore, Folklore, this album, Dead Poet Society. So these last three albums, I've enjoyed them the most. Mm-hmm. I like this version of Taylor. It's mature. It's deep.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
It's more real and raw. My favorite part of Taylor is less the vengeful, I need to call out the people that, blah, blah, and a lot more of the introspective, looking at what she sees, the bigger picture of everything. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'm enjoying about this the most, because it's the most poetic. It's the most carefully crafted we've seen of any of her songs. And I just want to make this connection here to the Romantic period. It's my favorite period of poetry, art, everything that comes out of the Romantic period is fascinating because it came from a period where the period before was very restrictive and there was only one way to do poetry or one way to do art. It was called the neoclassical era, or the classical era. It's very, very rigid. And so as poets are starting to try to break free of that, some of them actually go mad. There's some very well documented poetry and various artists that just went crazy because their lives were so in flux and they were trying so hard to break free of whatever was keeping them in. That's very indicative of Taylor's own journey. If you look at how Taylor has kind of morphed over time, it's not like she was just free all the time. She kind of, whether it's self-imposed or society-imposed or whatever you want to put it there, there's a similar journey for her in her trying to break free and going a little bit mad sometimes and trying to express that through poetry and song. It's very cool that she's latched on to the Romantic period because it's it follows her own journey as well.
Very well said. Very well said. My favorite part of Taylor are her legs. Okay, Nathan.
I didn't want to say that to diminish what you said because I really feel like your insight to that was far better, more real and connected than what I just said. That's just me kind of.
You're the English teacher. English teacher reacts. Hashtag.
Yeah, shut up.
We gotta get those views.
We're going to do English teacher reacts. Yeah, okay. Well, everybody, I hope you brought your books and pencils because there's going to be some homework after this. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Natalie. You're awesome.
Yes, you're awesome. Thanks, Natalie. And thanks, everybody who joined us and put up with whatever we just did there. If you'd like to show us that you made it all the way through our ranting and raving and back and forth thing the whole time, what should they write in the comments, Ryan, to show that they actually made it here?
English teacher reacts.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.